Okay, here we go, chapter 27. This is the beginning of the second book, by the way. Embarrassing clothes that I wear or have worn. I wear embarrassing clothes a lot of times. In fact, if you looked at my ensemble today, it would probably be embarrassing. I have my SOS shirt on, but then I have some maroon sweatpants. I won't show those to you, but at any rate, I'm not going anywhere for a few minutes. I won't go outside in these, but that's just what I'm wearing today. So that's a little embarrassing. But I'm not a clothes horse by any stretch of the imagination, never have been, and so forth. I recounted many of the events in the book. There's a couple of others there. In fact, I think there's a picture in the book. And when I taught school, they'd have Spirit Week and Homecoming Week. They'd have a theme each day, and one of them was the 50s, and I'd go as a greaser and rolled up my sleeves, and I didn't have any camels to put in my sleeves, nor would it have been allowed on campus, but that's what they used to do back in the day. They'd roll up their sleeves and put their cigarettes in the sleeves. I don't know how that worked, but so I didn't do that. But I rolled up the sleeves and greased down the hair and the T-shirts and the rolled up Levi's and the white socks and the penny loafers with the penny in the shoe, like in the 50s, 60s, that sort of thing. So, and the kids kind of liked it, and I didn't mind. It's okay. The mismatch day, that was one of my favorites. In fact, I think there's a picture of the mismatch ensemble in the book. Checked shirt with a striped tie and who's your daddy shorts and sandals and socks, and at any rate, it's kind of fun, but I felt pretty comfortable in all of that. Well, not totally, but I always liked color, more so than anybody in my family. My wife and I just painted our house here a few years ago, and she was wanting to do with the neutral, tan or the white or whatever, and I needed a little color. I like a little color. I don't know, in clothes and in fashion and wherever I am, I like a little color. So I think I prevailed a little bit. I got her to, and she likes it, but we got a little color on our walls here as opposed to just the white or the tan or whatever that is. I mentioned once, I think, my dad being frugal. Well, one of the ways that he was so frugal is when he got to be the office manager at these phosphate companies, Central Farmers, and of course Monsanto. They provided clothing for them. There was, brown pants and shirt. I don't know what all that had Monsanto on the shirt and that sort of thing. My dad wore those from that day till the end. He wore those every day. He didn't want to spend money on clothes and so forth. So he was that's what he wore most of the time. Except he didn't go to church in them, of course, but he wore those quite often. I guess I kind of got some of that from him. I still have pants and shirts and ties and shoes that I've had for 25 or 30 or more years. I don't know. They're fine. They still work. They're still okay. Haven't worn out. Even when they do wear out, I kind of wear them till there's holes in them or something. That's okay. And no need to spend money on stuff that you don't really need. A couple of other thoughts that I had. My grandpa, this had nothing to do with clothing, but my grandpa Larson, I don't know where he thought he could cut hair, but he when I was growing up, that's what he did. He cut hair, and he cut my hair as a kid all the time. He was the slowest hair cutter in the history of the human race. I mean, I swear he cut every hair, just one little snip and a little snip and a little snip. I mean, there was a round stool, metal stool that I sat on, And I swear it was an hour and 2 hours later, I was still sitting there waiting for those hairs to get cut. It was quite a marathon and so forth, but he did it all the time, and he wasn't a great hair cutter. I don't even know how he learned, or if he ever got any training. Probably not. But he was my hair cutter, so I wasn't my coif left a little to be desired there as well. I've always had a tough time buying clothes, particularly long-sleeved clothes. I have inordinately long arms. I'm 6'5" or 6 inches tall. I think I've shrunk a little, settled down over the years. Probably my height, I was 6'6", but over the years I settled like a cake in the oven that settles down, and so I'm probably 6'5" or maybe something like that now. But anyway, my arms have always been inordinately long. A normal man wears 33-inch sleeves, 32-inch sleeves, something like that. But my 34 maybe, but I have 38-inch sleeves. I have to have a long sleeve shirt that is 38 inches long, and they're rare. It's very tough to find them, first of all, but that has been a drawback in terms of buying clothes. Suits, same way, long sleeves. They don't make them for apes. I've said that a few thousand times, and that's pretty well true. So I have a tough time buying clothes, particularly suits and long sleeve shirts. When they get to your waist size, the length of the pants are much shorter. They might be 30 inches long, and I have an inseam of it's 34. That's not inordinately long for someone, but so all of that combination has made it very difficult for me to buy clothes over the years. Like I say, that's been a drawback in terms of clothes purchasing, but in terms of athletics, which has been big part of my life, having 38-inch sleeves was a great advantage as I pitched. Longer levers, more whip action. I could throw the ball harder, that sort of thing. And of course, playing basketball. I was able to rebound way better than a lot of people my size because of the length of my arms. I think I still hold the school record at Soda Springs for average rebounds per game in my senior season. I think it was something like 18.3 rebounds per game. So those long arms is a benefit in playing sports.